Hello and thanks for joining me, your sport pilot James Glory, on another exciting episode of Sport Vibe on TNT Work, where we bring you exciting and latest sport updates across the world of sport every Tuesday, as is our tradition to do so. This week won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back and happy new month. The month of September has begun as the transfer window was brought to an end September 1, and that means that we won't be seeing players switching side as we used to across Europe. But quickly, let's start this week episode of Sport Vibe on TNT Work from the world of Formula 1, where we witness a dramatic Dutch Grand Prix over the weekend in the world of Formula 1, where two McLaren's drivers were participating, but one could only make it to the final race, and he was crowned the champion of the Dutch Grand Prix. Talking about Oscar Piastri winning the Dutch Grand Prix over the weekend, where Lando Norris couldn't make it through to the finals of the race due to mechanical issues that he faced during the race. But an interesting one for them and a mixed feeling for them, as it were, as their driver was able to snatch the maximum prize, winning the Dutch Grand Prix over the weekend. Max Verstappen could only finish in the second position over the weekend, where he was hoping to be able to win the Dutch Grand Prix on home soil, but settling for the second position means that Max Verstappen is back on podium in the world of Formula 1. But an interesting one and the highlight of the day, talking about the Racing Bull driver in the person of Isiaka Aja, who was able to win his first Formula 1 race in the history. It was an interesting one for him over the weekend at the Dutch Grand Prix, winning your first Formula 1 race and being on the podium for the first time in the world of Formula 1, showing his excitement. He couldn't contain his joy as he broke the award that was given to him on the podium. But an interesting one for him also, as he was able to back the driver of the day award after a stunning fight to secure the podium at the Dutch Grand Prix. But another sad one at the Dutch Grand Prix, talking about the Ferrari driver in the person of Lewis Hamilton, who was given a 5-spot penalty during the race as he failed to stop for the yellow flag that was warning him to wait. He failed to wait for that flag, and this means that he has been given a 5-spot penalty in the next Formula 1 race that will be taking place in the Italian Grand Prix. It's going to be starting 5 points behind his qualification spot at this Italian Grand Prix. A sad one for Lewis Hamilton, who is struggling right now with the Ferrari, but an interesting one for McLaren as they continue to maintain their spot at the top of the championship standing and also at the top of the driver standing, as two of their drivers are occupying the first and the second position, while Max Verstappen occupies the third position. There's 2 more races to be run in the Formula 1 season already. Will Max Verstappen be able to bounce back, as the points between him and the number 1 spot, we talk about the driver standing, is not up to 100? Will he be able to win the drivers' championship this season, or will one of the McLaren drivers, either Oscar Piastri or Lando Norris, be able to win the drivers' championship of the year 2025-2026 season in the world of Formula 1? And quickly, let's switch our attention to the world of football. Like I said before the break, we know that the transfer window has been brought to an end, but it was a win-win for Liverpool, who were able to break their record transfer fee for the second time this season. They have been able to secure the signature of Isaac from Newcastle. Remember, there has been so many speculations that Isak wanted to play for Liverpool, and Isak's dream move has come to fulfillment as he will be playing under the colours of Liverpool henceforth for the rest of the season, and also we'll be seeing him play for Liverpool for a long time. Will he be able to score so many goals like he did with Newcastle, and will be the starting man for Liverpool? You know that they have Ugo Ekitike, who has been doing well for them, and now bringing Isak to the fold for Liverpool. They look as if they will be unstoppable in their striking positions this season. You remember, they have Mohamed Salah, they have Isak, they have the likes of Ekitike, they have Szoboszlai, they have Gravenberch, and these players are players that can score goals for Liverpool. With they be all dominance this season. Remember that they are one of the unbeaten side in the Premier League this season, and in fact they are the only Premier League side that has been able to win 3 matches out of the available 3 in the Premier League this season. Liverpool appears to be unstoppable as they were also able to defeat Arsenal Football Club 1-0 over the weekend, where we saw Szoboszlai scoring a stunning free kick to win that particular one for Liverpool over the weekend. Arsenal being second to Liverpool again, will they be finishing this season in the second position? We will blame Mikel Arteta for starting 7 defensive-minded players against Liverpool. What was he thinking? Was he planning to get just a draw at the Anfield Stadium, or was he going out for the whole win? I think he's just trying to get a draw against Liverpool over the weekend by starting 7 defensive-minded players for Arsenal against Liverpool. Another interesting one about football, we talk about Manchester United, who were able to get their first win against the newly promoted side Burnley, 3-2 in favor of Manchester United this season, as they were able to get their first win this season, and they have been able to accumulate 4 points already out of the available 9 points in the Premier League this season. Remember that they started the season with a defeat to Arsenal Football Club. A draw to Fulham and a win against Burnley means that they are ahead of their rival Manchester City, who also suffered a defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion over the weekend. Manchester City were the first team to score in that particular match, but eventually Brighton and Hove Albion were able to come back from behind to win that particular match, to leave the Pep Guardiola side in awe this season, as they have only been able to secure 3 points in the available 9 matches that they have played. A defeat to Tottenham Hotspur and a defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion in a weekend that precedes the international break. And quickly, let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we continue right from where we stop.
JK Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Welcome back, and we're still talking football. An interesting one in the Premier League, and a sad one for Pep Guardiola, whose side suffered a defeat in a match before the international break. But quickly, let's switch down to the Spanish La Liga, where we talk about another interesting one, as Barcelona, for the first time this season, have dropped points against Rayo Vallecano. Remember that match, they were only able to share points in a match that Rayo Vallecano showed dominance against Barcelona. We saw Lamine Yamal winning a penalty and converting a penalty, and that looks as if that's the only positive in the match against Rayo Vallecano, as they dominated that match. Their defense line, talking about Barcelona, was weak, and the team were able to get back into the game where they were hoping to secure the maximum points against Barcelona, but they could only settle for a draw against Barcelona. And also in the Spanish La Liga, we talk about Real Madrid, who has secured their 3 wins out of the 3 matches that they have been able to play this season. Xabi Alonso's side has been able to win the 3 matches, and they are sitting at the top of the Spanish La Liga right now. 9 points, the maximum point in the Spanish La Liga for them this season. This Xabi Alonso's side doing incredibly well, and Xabi Alonso managing the team he once played for, Real Madrid, has been able to show to us that he has all it takes to go forward and become successful in the Spanish La Liga. We saw Vinicius Junior scoring another goal for Real Madrid as he has been able to silence his haters in the world of football. And talking about football, we switch down to the Bundesliga. We'll talk about the man who succeeded Xabi Alonso, who is doing well right now in Real Madrid. We talk about Erik ten Hag managing Bayern Leverkusen. He is yet to get a win in his second match in the Bundesliga this season. Will he be able to challenge the Vincent Kompany side, who appears to be unstoppable right now this season, as we saw Luis Diaz scoring another goal for Bayern Munich? Harry Kane can't stop scoring goals. That man is a goal scoring machine already. And will they be able to stop Bayern Munich from winning the Bundesliga this season, where they have started in an incredible form? Also back to the Premier League, talking about teams that are yet to be defeated in the Premier League this season. We talk about Chelsea Football Club, the world number one right now in the world of football. They were able to defeat Fulham in a controversial win, 2-0 over the weekend. And also we know that Crystal Palace were also able to defeat Aston Villa over the weekend. This is a statement win for Crystal Palace, who appears to qualify for the Conference League. They are showing to us that they have what it takes to become a big team under Oliver Glasner in as their manager, though they were able to sell Ebere Chukwueze to Arsenal Football Club. It does not appear to be a gap for Crystal Palace, as they were able to defeat Aston Villa 3-0 over the weekend. It's a win for Manchester United, a defeat to Manchester City over the weekend. An interesting one for us as football lovers, as we'll be switching our attention to countries' football as the international break is on. We'll be seeing so many World Cup qualifiers being played. We'll be seeing so many footballs being played across different countries. We'll be seeing England, Nigerians will be hoping that they will be able to win and qualify for the World Cup in the year 2026. This is the length at which we'll be going on this week's episode of Sport Vibe on DNT Work. For more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media handles at Sport Vibe on DNT Work. Enjoy your week. Remain a law-abiding citizen. Thank you.